This weekend is going to answer quite a few questions because the first title defense of Sean Strickland is coming up. I don't know how to feel about it because it's against Dricus du Plessis, and I think Dricus has definitely earned his title shot. Um, but Sean has proved the doubters wrong quite a few times and has had such a resurgence with that Israel Adesanya fight um, that I can't count Sean out. But Dricus du Plessis is going to be a whole nother animal for Sean to deal with. I don't think he's fought anybody with that grappling and striking because Dricus knows what he's doing. He's kind of proven that with that Robert Whitaker fight. I'm just there to watch to see who comes out on top. But Sean's time as middleweight champion of the UFC is even if it's short lived, I gotta say it's interesting because it's been a mixed bag. Because for me, I really like how he's showing that you could come from like some of the worst areas and still end up successful. But there's times where I feel like his trauma defines him a little too much, which I can't tell anybody how to handle their trauma, but sometimes it seems like sometimes it's borderline on the crutch aspect. So I think that he needs to do more celebrating of his victories than stewing on a really hard past. And the guy has definitely had a hard childhood. When you listen to this guy's story in the household he grew up in, it's unmatched. But I think he's got so much to smile about how things are so much better that it's kind of like, that's just my opinion, I understand that right now we live in a society where a lot of people are dealing with their traumas, and sometimes it feels like a lot of people get weighed down by those. So even though sometimes I feel like, you know, it's defining him and allows moments like that fight in the stands, which I didn't really think was cool. I think that the UFC kind of instigated that whole thing. Um, I still root for him a lot. I just if I could say one thing to him, it would be celebrate your victories just a little bit more because you got a lot to be grateful for, and it was way easier said than done to just get rid of it and get over it. But I think he could do it. But I really am rooting for him, kind of in this one against DDP. Now I do want to see DDP succeed, but I just can't count Sean out. Now Sean's path to victory is going to be very simple. He's going to have to wrestle, like, or at least have really good wrestling defense. Now he always talks about how he wrestles, he just doesn't use it, and I believe him. You know, he probably just likes to stand and bang in his thing in the UFC, and that's what that is. It's more entertaining. So he probably doesn't like to just take people down and grind out decisions. Um, but I really don't know um, where it is going to go because Dricus has such great grappling that I feel like if he gets Sean on the ground, it's going to be a very easy win for DDP. But we haven't seen Sean basically take on too many wrestlers except for Usman. I mean, that was a different time. Sean was a way different fighter than he is today. He's evolved so much, and he's been able to, you know, continue showing up and putting on the best that he can possibly do. Especially someone like Jack Hermanson. Jack's a pretty heavy grappler in a lot of aspects, and he shut that game down. But DDP is just such a level above. So I think that we're just gonna have to wait till the dust settles on this one. And I understand that a lot of people are getting behind Sean Strickland, and rightfully so. He speaks to a lot of the normal, everyday people, and I appreciate that without a doubt in my mind. Although I will respectfully stand by the fact that I think that, for those of you who are suffering with trauma, don't let it define you. Take the route of Sean Strickland and turn it into something good. But I want to see some more victories that Sean can hopefully smile upon and celebrate because I do like going through his social media and seeing him live his life after coming back from the childhood that this guy had to go through. But Definitely, I'm not going to make a call on this one. This is just going to be a war. And yeah.